A women's march in California now canceled. Organizers claiming up to this point, the participants have been overwhelmingly white, lacking representation from several perspectives in our community.
That announcement was just days after the group canceled the Chicago march, citing high costs as it comes under fire for ties to Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. So is this the beginning of the end for the Women's March movement? Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce is president of the Independent Voice. She joins us now to weigh in. So now,
good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Yes, same to you.
Yeah.
We're so close.
In New Zealand, it's already the New Year.
It absolutely is.
Australia, I think, now, too.
There you go.
So the march is now anti-white woman. We know that from some of the leaders and their comments before, they're anti-Jewish, they're anti-pro-life women. What kind of a women's march is this?
Yeah, there's some issues also regarding lesbians, gay representation. This is the ultimate end result of identity politics, right? And the left chooses this framework because they don't want to talk about the issues. Clearly, the thing that brings all women together are the issues. The issues that affect us transcend politics. It transcends race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, even socioeconomic status, because all of us need a good economy. Violence against women affects all of us. Violence in general, wars around the world, the education of our children, where we can choose to live, drug use. All of these things make us sisters, and yet it's pathetic. It's disappointing. It's sad. There's a lot of women where we can speak about these issues. It shouldn't matter what we look like. Part of what we were trying to do in the feminist movement was argue that the appearance of a woman is not the only thing that matters, that we are more than an external framework. And yet now what has the left done? Taken us back into the Stone Age and relying on the divisions between individuals. And now it's kind of been cannibalizing of this left-wing effort.
Is that all because of identity politics? I mean, is that the reason? Is that what has changed?
Well, I think that we've seen this before. I saw it when I was with the National Organization for Women. It is a liberal tactic in general, usually for the outside, of dividing and conquering, right? But in this particular instance now, when you've got even just liberal efforts, which all good people, perhaps there's classical liberals and conservatives, we all agree on a myriad of issues. Child care issues, again, access to education, etc.
But none of these things are discussed.
But they're not discussed, and that's the point. That's the point, because ultimately, when you discuss issues that really matter to women, it takes you ultimately to what's considered a conservative point of view.
Right.
Personal freedom, financial independence, being able to make choices that best suit you as an individual. But here you've got now women, they're trying to divide women based on race, right? Based on faith, if Jewish women have been attacked, based on sexual orientation, based on being against the men in your life, that men are the problem, that masculinity is somehow toxic, as opposed not looking at men as the partners that they are in our lives. So it's classic, it's typical, it is what the left has always done, and it's why everything they touch ultimately is destroyed.
And I think it's ironic because if you look at the numbers, economically speaking, women have never done better. And so what is the purpose of this march? And by the way, is it just an anti-Trump march masquerading as a women's march?
Well, it is. The left, all they want to do really is organize, and they want to organize against whatever the establishment is, but certainly if that establishment promotes individual power, individual freedom. That's the thing that, of course, is anathema to leftist organizers, because they want everyone to think only of a collective.
Right, groupthink.
It is groupthink, but ultimately what I think the original mission was, some really good people involved. Most of those individuals, including one of the original founders, has stepped away. The Chicago March has been canceled as well. Other chapters have actually dissolved.
Right.
But this is, you can actually gather women and have them organize on a variety of issues, again, that we find that matter to all of us, like economic independence.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they actually reorganize and revamp this. But for right now, they're canceled.
Yeah.
All right, Tammy. Thanks for illuminating us on what was really